Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to Mike's Daily Podcast, broadcasting from Café Anyway. Located somewhere in Podcastro Valleymont, the last place on earth. Today, we are going to be talking to some people. Oh, my cousin, Ann-Katrine, just texted me on Google Hangouts. How come no one ever uses Google Hangouts? Someone was trying to get me to download WhatsApp, and I said, no.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Do I look like I'm a European? Do I have one of those lame scarves that even males wear?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Oh, wow, my cousin is texting me a lot while I'm trying to sing my song. Hey, there was something on my blog last time you might thought was wrong, but no, it was a little extra something. It was for you if you are like a drum bumpkin, if you're a country bumpkin.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
No, not if you're a country bumpkin, but if you are someone who enjoys this show
Mike's
and would like to hear me
Daily
talking on AM radio,
Podcast.
well, I did an interview on a show called Silicon Valley Business Connections. And there's a connection to that connection with the connection of connecting that. Connect the dots at mikesdailypodcast.com. The last show, the 1535 Danger episode. But this is 1536, episode 1536 today. And look who just walked in. Hi, Mark. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How you doing?
After this girl fiddle player tell you
What?
that whole missile thing in Hawaii was just uncalled for. Tell you what. Why'd they do that?
That guy, the kid, whoever it was they're keeping him hidden. I don't know. Was he on the news? I don't know. Cafe, I don't know. Cafe, who cares? I mean, Cafe Anyway. Yeah.
Anyway.
Because every time when they asked him, why were you so stupid? He goes,
well, it's not my fault.
Yeah, well, well.
Look who else walked in.
Oh, Mike, I make the delicious root beer. Oh, boy, I have some right now as I pour it for you with this sound effect.
Thank you. All right, yeah. So, let's see. Oh, my cousin from Germany.
And here's today's podcast picture.
She heard about my mom's boyfriend passing away last week, yeah. And, my cousin, I sent a picture to her of Basil. Basil's face is no longer, there's like not even a hint of black. The only thing black on Basil's muzzle, his face. The dog has a muzzle on their face. The muzzle is the muzzle. Whatever. I'm going to call today's show's Muzzle. What the hell? Why not? Oh, yeah, because that has to do with the podcast picture. Is of Basil and I, when we were at the beach back in October in Half Moon Bay. I have not been back to Half Moon Bay. It's been cold. I don't want to drive. Hi, I'm Maria Bamford. I don't want to drive. I'm Maria Bamford. Oh, my God. So I'm waiting for the frickin' BART, and I'm reading the SF Weekly, which has gone so downhill. Not to be dramatic or anything, but oh my God, it's gone downhill. San Francisco Weekly, which absorbed the San Francisco Guardian, is so bad. And their Sketch Fest is going on this week, and so they highlighted the four of the female comedians, because women who do comedy, they are really they're the trailblazers. They've been saying that for 40 frickin' years, man. I will take you back in time to, what was her name? Well, Ellen DeGeneres, you go back that far. No, the trail's been blazed, okay? Ellen DeGeneres, biggest talk show of all time. It's huge. When Oprah left, she took over. What trailblazing is there left to do in comedy There is no trailblazing in comedy. I'm not even blazing a trail right now. I'm cooking some Café Anyway floor right now because the floor needs to be burnt. My point with bacon. And so I just whatever. Café Anyway. The Maria Bamford has her funny moments. I know some of you are huge fans, and I know some of you are huge fans of, what's her name that does the podcast where she's the guest every week. And that's a huge earwolf. Oh, God. People always go, Mike, your show reminds me of that Comedy Bang Bang show because you're kind of all over the place. And no, thank you. No, don't compare me to that. No. And I would like to further emphatically say that by pressing this button and going, no. Thank you, Timothy. Pastor Timothy did that for us. Pastor Timothy has this very assertive voice. All right. And we love it. So thank you, Pastor Timothy. That was awesome. I can't think of her name. No, I'm not going to remember her name. Because I can't think. You can't make me do things on command. I'm not your dog. I'm not your wonderful Basil the Boxer, who does very few things on command anymore. No, he's at his age, he and I are simpatico. Like I will go to a location, open the door, he jumps out. People, when they first get a dog, oh my God, the dog's gonna run across the parking lot and I'm never gonna see him again. No, he stays right there. He's right by my side. He's a loyal, wonderful dog, and I hope I've got some more years with him. He's starting to have issues. His back leg has been hurting him. His front right arm's been hurting him sometimes. I give him glucosamine. You're supposed to give your dog glucosamine and chondroitin. He gets that in his diet, so that should be helping him. But he's just older, you know? He's got aches and pains like all of us that get older, as you will when you get older. So that's a depressing thought. But I wanted to go back to something. I don't want to go back. I just want to go forward. I want to go forward and tell you about Sailing Doodles one last time, because I finally sat through a whole episode, and my friend, because you're my friend, we talk a lot back and forth. You can call me at 336MM Daily. You call me all the time on that, don't you? 336MM Daily. And, of course, the website, mikesdailypodcast.com. Oh, hey, there's something going on in the Bay Area. I just wanted to point that I'm all over the place, I know. And I've left a couple of breadcrumbs to help me get my way back to the thing that... No, don't eat those breadcrumbs! Don't eat the breadcrumbs, I won't know where I am! Oh, great, the chickens ate all the breadcrumbs here at Café Anyway, but...
Anyway.
My point being, there's this thing going on in the Bay Area. I've noticed a lot of men, primarily in their 30s, do this thing where I don't know if they're intentionally or what, but they do this thing. And people that I've known for a while, they'll suddenly do this thing. Did you just hear what I did? They do this. It's kind of a lisp, but not real. It's almost like their tongues are getting lazy or something. I don't know if it's because what is going on, but if you're in the Bay Area, next time you talk to a male in his 30s, watch for the weird, you'll notice something. There's something going on. I don't know what it is, if as a society, we're not really caring how we are, if we're, what's the word? If we elocute, if we are saying words, or if I think we're going into a mumblecore society is what I'm saying. We're getting more and more, mumbling is okay. So we're on the show. And it all goes back to Twilight and the mumblecore from that. Thank you, Kristen Stewart, and all you people, Taylor Hicks, or whatever your name was, Lawton, the Patterson, whoever. And yeah, so that's a thing I've noticed. I'm kind of doing it myself. Shoot. It's this thing. There. You have to eloquently say your words through your muzzle. I got a face-aversary yesterday. Face-versary. That's the worst portmanteau, whatever that is, ever. Taking Facebook and smashing it into anniversary, and you got face-aversary. Okay, I joined Facebook in 2009, so I've been on there for 9 scary years. Wow. And yeah, been on Facebook that long. And I remember it was January 15th, as I do my Bay Area slur. No, that a slur was what Trump did the other day in that meeting with the immigration reform. The thing is that I was Facebook anniversary, January 15th. Okay, the January of 2009 was when I went social media crazy. That's when I first said, hey, what is this thing called Gmail? That's when I first got on Gmail. And then I also got on, what was that other thing? There was some of the social media that vanished, but yeah, that's the year. Oh, I had been on Twitter before. Twitter, when it first started, I had an account under my radio name, Matt Michaels, when I was on KHEY. I signed up as Matt Michaels. And I noticed that nobody else was on Twitter. And I think back then it was related to your phone. And I said, nah, I don't have time for this. So I deleted it, which, shoot. But I don't go by Matt Michaels anyway anymore. But you can find me on Twitter at Mike Talks. Mike Talks. This is what I am doing now with you. Mike'sDailyPodcast.com has links to all the other social media places that I am at. And that you can also reach me at Mike'sDailyPodcast@gmail.com. But Facebook is changing, and they got into a little bit of trouble on Friday because they said, Mark Zuckerberg said, and it was so funny. I talked on Friday to a couple people that own Facebook stock. I had no idea. I go walking in Podcastro Valley with Basil the Boxer, and I run into them all the time. And they just lost a dog, actually. It is sad. The dog was like 11 years old. A little old, what was it? A Bijou, Bichon, be something. And, oh, sweet dog. Winston. Oh, poor Winston. In doggy heaven. But they have another dog named Fritz. And so they're walking Fritz, and we're talking about Facebook. And she goes, oh, yeah, we have stock in Facebook. Oh, and you know what Mark Zuckering did today? She called him Zuckering. Okay. So, yeah, Mark Zuckering decided to take, he did something to she didn't even know what it was, but he took the political ads, and when you, in your news feed, which most people, when they go on Facebook, they just go immediately, it defaults them to their news feed, which I always take that off, that setting. You have to do this so every time you log on to Facebook. And I put it on the most recent function, because then I can see what people, because that way I'm not being pushed everybody's babies. I got my pictures from the dance. I got my pictures from my vacation. I got me all these same things you see over and over again. I like to see people's new stuff that they just threw up there. Oh, someone broke into my car. Crap. Whatever it was. I hope someone didn't just break into my car. That better not happen. But yeah, so people are, so she said she was all worried about that because the stock went down. Because Mark Zuckerberg basically is saying, I'm not going to throw all this viral crap in your face anymore. And the Russians, I'm going to make it more difficult for those damn Russians to manipulate you like they manipulated you during the elections.
I say it's better to get along with Russia than not.
America elected Donald Trump. And yeah, the Russians helped.
So he's doing that, and I applaud him for that. That's great. I actually have applause for him. And that was it. And that's wonderful. I'm glad what he's doing, that he's causing it to be more of your own community and not these advertisements being pushed in your face. Hi, you can always take control of your Facebook that feed, as long as they have the most recent in there. Now, I don't know how actually true that is, the Facebook most recent, but that's what they say it is. So if you take it at face value, that's what you're getting. But let's jump to Hawaii really quick, and that horrible false alarm that they had over there over the weekend, where they got alerted on their smartphones that a ballistic missile was incoming and to seek shelter, and nobody had any idea where shelter was. And the Rolling Stones, they asked, "Give me shelter. It's just a breath away. It's just a breath away. Call shelter." That girl, when she sings that part of the, not the Hawaiian girl we just heard, but the one in that Rolling Stone song, "Give Me Shelter," when she does that crack in her voice, and she does that kind of scream thing, isn't that the awesomest thing ever in a Rolling Stone song? I would play it for you right now, but I don't have time. The thing is that we're going to still hear more stories will come out about how people were freaked out for 40 minutes that they thought a missile was coming. Can you imagine if someone hearing that said, "Oh, I don't want to get bombed. I don't want to die in a nuclear war. I'm going to kill myself"? What if that happened? What if the Hawaiian government is sued because, well, I'm sure there's going to be lawsuits for this, because people are going to say, because I thought a missile was going to come down, I did it with my best friend, a female friend of mine that I thought we were just plutonic, but we thought the end of the world was coming, so we said screw it. Maybe that happened. Somebody did something they regret. I don't know. You hear these scenarios in end of the world situations. All I'm saying is we haven't heard the last of this crazy mistake that person said, "It's not my fault."
Well, it's not my fault.
No, they owned up to it, but oh gosh. So that was about all I had. Oh, and Zuckerberg said that he wants your time on Facebook, even though he knows it's going to be less time, he wants it to be more valuable time. Isn't that nice? Yes, so I wanted to bring up a couple of news stories that struck me today. And that is Simone Biles. She was on Wait, Don't Tell Me. Tom Hanks was the host. And she was just the best guest. So funny. But she apparently went public with a statement on Twitter yesterday accusing former USA gymnast doctor Larry Nassar of sexually assaulting her. Yes, the Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles. Now, Larry Nassar pleaded guilty back in November to 7 counts of criminal sexual misconduct and admitted that he had used his position as a trusted medical professional to sexually abuse young girls. More than 125 people have come forward and said Nassar sexually abused them. Biles is the latest athlete to come forward with allegations against Nassar, joining gymnasts like Michaela Maroney, Allie Raceman, and Gabby Douglas. Nassar was the team doctor for the USA gymnasts through 4 Olympic Games. He also worked as an associate professor at Michigan State University from 1997 to 2016 and served as the school's gymnastics and women's crew team physician. One other sexual harassment story that came to light was Eliza Dushku. You remember her from, what was that cheerleaders movie? And the one with, you remember that one? Cheering movie. Cheer. Was it called Cheer? It was some kind of, there was all these cheerleading movies that came out with the likes of the other girl, the blonde girl from Spider-Man. I can't remember anybody's name. For some reason, I remembered Kristen Stewart. But so Arnold Schwarzenegger has responded to Eliza Dushku's allegations that True Lies stuntman Joel Kramer sexually assaulted her when True Lies was being made when Eliza was just 12 years old. Arnold was replying to a tweet from fellow co-star Tom Arnold telling him, Tom, you bet your asterisk, all of us would have done something. I'm shocked and saddened for Eliza, but I'm also proud of her. Beyond being a great talent and an amazing woman, she is so courageous, said Arnold.
I'll be back.
Kramer has denied the allegations made by Dushku, saying he never sexually assaulted her. Dushku, who is now 37, wrote a lengthy Facebook post on Saturday saying that Kramer lured her into his hotel room in Miami and molested her. She said that when he was finished, he suggested that they should be careful not to tell anyone. When contacted by The Wrap about the allegations, Kramer said, wow, that's news to me. I never sexually assaulted her. She's such a sweet girl. We all looked out for her. That's surprising. Dushku played the teenage daughter of Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis in the 1994 action hit. I forgot about that. That was a huge movie when it came out. And in other celebrity news, so shocking that Dolores O'Riordan died, the lead singer of the Cranberries. And, all my life, changing every way, every possible way. She was in a recent movie with Adam Sandler. Well, not that recent. Click. She was in that movie. And she sounded great in that movie. Looked great. But O'Riordan was found dead Monday morning at a London hotel. Police initially called the death unexplained, but said today that nothing suspicious had been found. The case is being passed to a coroner to determine the cause of death. So sad. Dolores O'Riordan gone. And she was only like 45, 46. So one other sad bit of news, and that is the Columbia Motorway bridge collapsed and 9 workers were killed. Under construction in Columbia, the bridge in Chirajara was to be part of a highway connecting the capital, Bogota, with the city of Villavicencio, I think it was. So that's going on in the news today. And that before a potential government shutdown at midnight, Friday night, a host of leftover Washington businesses is bottled up in Congress waiting on a deal to prevent the deportation of young immigrants brought to the country illegally as children and an agreement on other immigration-related issues, including the border wall that Donald Trump has been trying to get.
I would build a great wall, and nobody builds walls better than me, believe me. And I'll build them very inexpensively.
Lawmakers in both major parties are confronted with a consequential week that includes shutdown brinksmanship linked to a politically freighted negotiations over immigration. Meanwhile, there's an increasingly urgent deadline for disaster aid and renewal of the popular children's health insurance program. A government-wide spending deal, billions of dollars in help for hurricane-slammed Texas, Florida, and Puerto Rico, and health care financing for 9 million children from low-income families have been put on hold for weeks, caught first in a crossfire over taxes and now held up in a stand-up on immigration. Lawmakers are angry that their pet priorities are stuck and they're getting fed up. And GOP leaders, they're working to deliver a stopgap spending bill to stave off a shutdown. As we go outside of Café Anyway, we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Next show, it's Madame Rutabaga, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. I hope you have a wonderful day. Put a smile on your muzzle. Hope your life is good. And that we all, if we slur, whatever. So what? As long as we all understand each other, right? Huh? I don't understand.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!